This is compliments for mothers on Mother's Day. Some ASMR for you. So, to all the mothers out there, I just want to say that you're doing a great job, and I don't think you can not love your kids, right? Like, it's just something that's impossible for you to do. Like, it's like a compulsion, and it's got billions of years of evolution bred into us, right? Where it's just loving your kid is like loving yourself, and it's literally your identical genes mixed with another's in a human life form. This is how you've been able to have genetic immortality for about 4 billion years from the first life on Earth till now, is because of this love of our offspring. And you feeling those feelings is what's healthy and natural for you to feel. If you didn't feel those feelings, that would be something that was wrong with you. But you do feel those feelings, and that is loving your kid is like loving yourself, because it literally is yourself, an extension of yourself. I've heard so many moms and parents in general say, like, all day, every day, every second of every day, I'm thinking about my kids, and that's what you do because you're a good mother. And like most good mothers, you would do just about anything for them, just like, in a way, an extension of the golden rule. Being a parent is like living the golden rule in a lot of ways. You're loving someone else the way you love yourself, because it is yourself in a literal sense, genetically mixed with someone else's. Having kids is sort of like having a mirror up to yourself, so you can learn to love others while directly and consciously knowing that you're loving yourself. That's why having kids is kind of like a magical thing. You get to see the connection and the reality between one human and another human, and what the entire bulk of humanity actually is. It's all just one big family tree of genetic identicalness mixed with someone else. Just to stay adaptive and relevant in the modern environment, right? Small changes over time. And by extension, you can even go beyond the human realm and talk about the animal realm, which humans are a part of. We branched off from the primates, which branched off from the mammals, which branched off from the reptiles, and then the amphibians, and the fish, and then the bacteria, all the way back. And so in a real way, we're cousins with the plants. They broke off, some billion years ago. From before the primates, the mammals, and the animals, and then the plants are the cousins of the animals, and then before that is the bacteria, which is the common ancestor of us all. And we're their children. We're the children of bacteria. After many, many generations. From the first life till now is about 8 trillion generations of life, and 80% of that, so about 7 trillion ancestors, was bacteria. And I think they live on average 20 minutes. That's why it's such a high number, is because their lifespan is so short. But looking at the global family tree, not just the human one, you can see that the plants are also our cousins, and the animals are our cousins, and the bacterias, even modern bacteria, are our cousins, which go back to our common ancestor, which is the ancestors of us all. The first life on Earth found at the bottom of the oceans, thermal vents, where life came out of basic proteins and amino acids through some mysterious way turned into life, chemicals into biology. But that's the tree of life on a global scale, beyond just the human, which we're a part of. That's what mothers are with their kids. It's the same process as human to primate, and primate to mammal, mammal to animal, animal to bacteria. It's all the same process of mother and child, and that's what you're a part of. And so all those motherly feelings that you feel, that's literally and entirely 4 billion years of mothers loving their children. I think the Y chromosome in the male is very, very new, like only millions of years old compared to billions. Like the default is female. Even in the womb, the male genitalia doesn't develop until much later in the fetus, because of how late it is, just in terms of evolution. The male came about, and that was like the divergence of the sexes or the genders, so that evolution could happen faster by having two parents instead of one. But for, again, 7 trillion of our ancestors, bacteria-wise, the XX was the default. It was all female, and it would just split in half, and then there would be 2. So the feminine, in terms of biology, is definitely the dominant one. I mean, if you want to think about it another way, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg evolved much, much earlier than the chicken. The chicken is only about 10,000 years old from the red jungle fowl, I believe, and the egg was way back even in the fish times, which was billions of years ago, or hundreds of millions of years ago. But yeah, so mothers have been around. The mothers and female have been around the longest. Male is only a very recent development in terms of the global time span. That's just some thoughts on what motherhood is and the family tree, a little tangent, but yeah. I mean, what else? Mothers do everything. Mothers give birth to the kids. They're the land in which the seed is planted, and they nurture with their body is like the nutrients which grows the seed inside them. In a way, the mother's body is like the food for well, literally it is. That's why women eat for 2 when they're pregnant. You're eating for 2. You're literally the nutrients for the baby to grow, and you give your life force in order to help the baby. And that's where all men and women come from, because some woman gave of herself even after birth with the milk. A woman's body is just like a giving. And so for 9 months you're giving, and then when they're born you give more as the milk and as your time and your energy, making sure they're safe and that they learn appropriately what they need to learn at whatever age. And you might have to work, or or there might be a man around who works, or a wife, whatever. And then so you invest more money into food, and eventually education, driving them around, going to play dates, meeting other mothers, helping your kid to socialize and learn how to be an adult human. And in a way, motherhood really never ends. They get older, you help them to become more of an adult, you teach them morals, and you try to aim them in a way that they'll be successful. And you try to set them up as much as possible for success, getting them a good education, getting the driver's license, paying for classes to train them in that, maybe sending them to college, hopefully aiming them at a career where they can be successful and help others and also thrive in their own life. And then they become adults and they go out into the world, and then you just hope for the best, that what you did was enough, and you can never not be their mother. You'll always be their mother. And then you just go see what fruits they bear back. Sometimes they might ask you for advice, or they might share some secret with you or some exciting news with you, and you can be there with them for that. The mothering never really stops. Then they have kids one day, they get their own house, and you get to be a mother to their kids as a grandma, which I've heard is even better than being a mother. Because you get all the fun and other responsibilities. And what everyone says later in life is the most important thing. The greatest reward that people have is their family, the kids, and the family they've cultivated around them, like a garden in a way. And so then when you're older, you have this support system that can go get you groceries and come over and visit you and make sure you're not lonely, and just give back perhaps a fraction of what you gave to them, literally life plus everything else. Life itself is often a lot, or enough, and everything else is like a bonus for your kids. And so that's just a small part of what the awesomeness of being a mother is. And from all of humanity to you, mothers, thank you so much for all that you do for making humanity what it is today. Literally every person on the planet has a mother out there. And it's through your help and guidance that humanity becomes as great as it becomes. So thank you for that. And thank you.